is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all, I'm Shashina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, nearly full employment is being reported on a northern island, and officials now say there are employment opportunities for additional skilled workers willing to relocate. John Davis Roll explains.
It is a major edifice which sits on a hill in the heart of Allenstown, Bimini, the multi-million-dollar government complex. The island can now boast of having unprecedented growth and development, also has one of the fastest growing economies, and is now the site for what is expected to be a state-of-the-art facility. Pyramid Construction Foreman and Project Manager Sherman Henfield.
The cost was just over $10 million. Yes, that was the contract amount, just over $10 million initially. There was some added additions, so I would think it went up slightly.
Okay, but you're still within budget, so to speak.
Yes, so to speak, we're still in budget. We're still currently in budget. Maybe running 2 to 3 months off schedule.
Henfield says following some setbacks, the project is now on the move.
Right now, we have one of the structure, one wing is up, roof is on, stud out. We're doing the exterior plastering right now. We're on the way with the southern building. A basement was added in, and due to the adding of the basement, there were some slight little delays and end up falling behind somewhat. But we're currently full speed ahead on that now. We're about to try to catch up on some time. We're in the process of pouring the floor now, and to head into the second floor.
The construction of the new facility has resulted in the demand for additional workers, skilled laborers, Henfield says, who will be afforded certain incentives.
We have about 30 to 40 permanent guys on staff. 90% of them are from Bimini. Still hoping to find some more. If we really could use additional 15 skilled carpenters who will be willing and interested to relocate into Bimini. That would be a good asset. Providing they have the necessary skill, they'll be willing to. We'll be in a position to hire them immediately.
Joan Davis Roll, ZNS Network News.
Well, there are some new changes set to come on stream, and they may affect you and your travel plans. Assistant Comptroller of Customs Chuck Martin explains that travelers heading into or outside of the country with over $10,000 will soon be required to declare these funds. He adds that these funds are not limited to cash, but other types of currency.
Currency means the currency of the Bahamas, of any foreign country, including cash, traveler's check, draft, or any other instruments. For an example, I don't know if it's still in existence, but those who you like to play to New York and travel with a huge amount of cash going out, you will have to declare those. If it's $10,000 and more, you'll have to declare it. And we have a legislator right here in our midst, because the Financial Action Task Force, they're going to ask you, what sort of strengths do you have in your system, in the financial system, that you allow persons to take out these sums of money and there's no checks and balances.
And if you find yourself traveling with over $10,000, Martin says a C-17 form will be provided to further instruct travelers on what is required to declare these funds.
We're getting the booths made at the airport. I think most of them are made where we're placing the customs officers and at the harbor. So we're going to have 2 customs officers in a booth. One customs officer will be processing you, and the other officer will check in case you have more than $10,000. We'll do it in a humane and dignified way, and privately we'll pull you on the side. Once you declare it, it's better to declare it than to have it taken from you. Especially if it's legitimate. I can't afford that. If it's legitimate, if you're traveling with $10,000 and more, then it's best that you declare. Be it traveler's check, or even if you're taking your children to school in the United States.
Now, once again, a time has not yet been set as to when the new traveler's currency declaration will take effect. In other news, police officials investigating the latest murder on Grand Bahama. According to reports, a 22-year-old man of Freeport is the island's latest victim. Reports are that on Saturday, August 6th, shortly after 4 a.m., police and EMS personnel were called to an area near a business establishment on East Sunrise Highway, where they met a male lying in the street with stab wounds to the upper body. EMS personnel transported the victim to the Rand Memorial Hospital, where he later succumbed to his injuries. Police on Grand Bahama have 2 males in custody who are assisting them with their investigation into this matter. A 29-year-old man hauled before the court to answer to a serious charge. Demery Charlton, aka Ricardo Rickett of Spoonbill Loop, Arden Forest, was arraigned before Magistrate Charlton Smith in Magistrate Court Number 2. He was not required to enter a plea, and the matter was adjourned to September 27th for trial. He was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services. And still on the crime beat, 30-year-old David Mizik of Pinedale 8 Mile Rock was arraigned on a rape charge before Magistrate Gwendolyn Claude at the 8 Mile Rock Magistrate Court. He was not required to enter a plea, and the matter was adjourned to November 17th for a preliminary inquiry. Now, police say this matter is related to an incident that occurred on Thursday, June 2nd. He was also remanded to the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services until trial. Switching gears, 10 Cuban migrants handed over to immigration officials on Sunday. According to reports, United States Coast Guard Paul Charles turned over 8 males and 2 females to the Bahamas Immigration Department. The group was picked up on Anguilla Key 2 days ago, and it reportedly left Cuba earlier with hopes of going to the United States. The migrants were transported to immigration headquarters for processing and to be examined by a medical team from the Disease Surveillance Unit of the Public Hospitals Authority. Now, this latest group of migrants are expected to be flown to the capital sometime today to be housed at the detention center until repatriated to Cuba. Stay with us, there's more news right after this.